Good morning. So nice to see you on yet another beautiful day here in the Tennessee Valley. We always hope that as you watch us each and every morning, you're feeling good and living your life in a healthy way. But in case you are either looking for a doctor, feeling a little bit under the weather, looking to kind of put some pep in your step, we've got it for you in more ways than one. So here I go. First of all, we've got twin doctors on the show. Dr. Jermaine Hogstrom, raise your hand. There we go, that's Jermaine. Dr. Jeremy Hogstrom, sitting next to him, twin brothers from Chattanooga. And if they're looking familiar to you, they should. Y'all are TikTok famous. That's reason number 2. We're glad you're here.
Nice to see you. Thank you for having us. I'm glad to be here.
So first of all, I know you're now in practice with Internal Medicine Associates, part of CHI Memorial. You are local Chattanoogans, went to school here. You headed off to medical school together. Did you ever envision that you would be having your practice then shared as well?
No, I mean, you know, it's something that we talked about when we were younger, but we never really it was never really tangible. You know, we never really thought, okay, this is gonna like actually happen. And kind of going through the whole medical training process, I mean, let alone we never really expected to be together throughout literally the whole training process from medical school to residency and now into practice. And but the fact that it has, you know, it's really been nothing but a blessing for us.
Yeah. And
we've always been blessed to kind of have each other by our side, and to kind of continue that process even into our careers is just kind of the icing on the cake. So,
yeah, I mean, for people who don't know the medical walk well, Jermaine, it is that you go through medical school, but then there are those residencies to find, and people tend to scatter. That y'all got to be together is pretty remarkable.
And something that I think we're definitely very both grateful for. I think it's made us, you know, kind of stronger and more passionate in what we do.
Well, let's talk about that passion a little bit, because you were explaining to me, I got a quick medical school 101, that when you go into internal medicine, that can look a couple of different ways.
Correct.
Y'all have approached it from the standpoint of primary care.
Correct.
So April happens to be Minority Health Care Awareness Month, and we're going to focus a little bit on those conversation points that just somehow don't get talked about enough.
Absolutely.
There are still real disparities when it comes to white medical care and minority medical care. Is that true?
Yeah, and so and what I kind of have talked about before is that the theme for this year, I believe, is better health through better understanding. And so what that means is helping your patients to understand the importance of screenings, the importance of early screenings, helping them to understand the disease processes that could affect them and what they're at risk for.
Well, that must make you then very happy as physicians to be connected with CHI Memorial, because they're huge on taking screening practices to the people.
Yes, it is, and that's kind of one of the things that we considered, because when you look at, for example, breast cancer screenings, breast cancer rates in African American women, you know, the incidences are technically lower. However, the rate of mortality in African American women are significantly higher. And so really jumping on these screenings, understanding your family history especially is crucial to really identifying what you're at risk for and how you can help identify early disease states. Because as we say, more often than not, early detection leads to better treatment outcomes. So.
We are, it's no secret to anybody, I would think, that we're in what they call the stroke belt. I think that too has a higher incidence, does it not, in the African American community?
Absolutely. It does. Cardiovascular risk and disease. You know, African Americans are generally at 2 out of 5, right, are at a higher risk of having high blood pressure. And not only the cardiovascular disease states, but prostate cancer, right? Colon cancer. So again, going back to these screenings, really understanding your family history and health lifestyle changes you can make to help mitigate these risks is crucial.
So back to the two of you being TikTok famous, it's one thing to talk to your patients when they're coming in the door. And by the way, they are taking new patients, as Jermaine jokingly said, while supplies last. So you want to spend time with your patients when they are there, but through social media, y'all can really get this education out to people. What types of tips and information do you enjoy sharing?
So we really enjoy sharing, I mean, those common everyday things, whether it's just lifestyle tips, things that can just help you really on an everyday basis, and things that people may not really even think about. It's things that people can easily misinterpret, so we do kind of delve into, you know, the comedy aspect of those things. But we also do like to provide everyday tips that you can apply to your life.
So who's funnier?
Oh gosh, you know, I say we have our moments, but usually whenever we're coming up with ideas, we just play off each other. You know, it's like a one take kind of a thing for us, and we just kind of go with the flow. And
okay, so back though to the tips, for example, we tend to live, I think, in a world where people think it's either all or nothing.
Yeah.
So stroke, cardiovascular health.
Yes.
Do you try to encourage people, even if what you do today is you walk one block in your neighborhood?
Absolutely.
That's a start.
Yeah, absolutely. You know, I always try to encourage at least 30 minutes of aerobic activity, you know, where you're maintaining a sustained elevated heart rate. That is kind of the key. And at least 5 days out of the week. And, you know, especially for older patients, it doesn't have to be anything super intensive, right? You know, I always encourage, if you have joint pains, back pain, you can do water aerobic therapy. That is plenty efficient for getting your heart rate up and helping to reduce your cardiovascular risk. And, you know, you build your cardiac endurance, and you just feel better.
If you're doing that, do we still need to watch our sugars?
Absolutely. Still have to cut the sugar. Still need to cut the alcohol. You know, all these things are still super important, because it's, you know, all exercise without diet is pointless. All diet without exercise can still be somewhat pointless. So we have to put the two together, and really do our best to make those lifestyle changes.
So within your practice at Internal Medicine Associates, you're looking at the whole person.
Yes.
Okay.
Absolutely.
So now you know, if you don't have TikTok yet, this might be the very reason you choose to download the app. If you do have it, follow them or whatever. What do you do on TikTok? Do you follow you on TikTok?
Yeah, they can follow
us.
Just to follow.
That's the cool phrase?
That's the cool phrase.
Follow us.
Okay, and you can call them if you're old school like me. 875-0999 is the office number. CHIMemorialMedicalGroup.org is your website to go and learn more. And welcome back home, fellas.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
West Shore Home is making shower and bath remodeling